Hello students, hope all of you are fine. Children, you remember yesterday in our session we have discussed workbook unit 4. Today we will discuss work from our workbook unit 5. Let us see what are the topics to be discussed. You have the reading comprehension, reporting speech, vocabulary and project which is given for writing in your workbook. Before I start with the reading comprehension, I will explain you reporting speech. I will explain to you what is reporting speech. Children, in the class when you initially came this year, we have done so much about direct and indirect speech, and I explained to you in the class what is direct and indirect speech. I gave you examples and what are the rules to change the direct and indirect speech. In your classworks you have all these notes of direct and indirect speech, but still once again a recap of the direct and indirect speech. If you are not able to understand anything in the live session, you keep your classwork ready and your workbook ready. We will discuss, and any doubts kindly put your questions in the chat box. So let us start, children. So first let me tell you what is direct speech. Direct speech, the message of the speaker is conveyed or reported in his own actual words without change. And what is indirect speech? The message of the speaker is conveyed or reported in our own words. So you need not change what he has said. You will retain the same meaning, but the words will change. Here you can see in the slide, children, what is reported speech. And here you can see few examples of direct speech and indirect speech. I have given the examples here. See, reported speech is a way how we report what someone has said by changing some of the words said but retaining the same meaning. We are not supposed to change the meaning. Look at the first picture, children. Now direct and indirect speech. Here direct speech involves the quoting the exact words uttered by the person within the inverted commas. Here you can see two examples in the sentence. Two examples, you can see that she said, I won't be coming home tonight. Here you can see that she said, comma, and here you have got the double inverted here quotations also. But here in the indirect speech, we do not have any quotations. There is just a full stop. So this is the difference between direct and indirect speech. Now let us check on to the next slide. What is the difference between direct and indirect speech? The direct speech describes when something is being repeated exactly as it was, usually in between the pair of inverted commas. And indirect speech, we still share the same information, but instead of expressing someone's comment or speech directly, repeating them, it involves reporting or describing what was said. Okay, children, so let me give you a few examples here. What is reported speech? So what is reported speech? Here you can see the example, and here again some examples for you with the sentence. When we want to tell someone what someone else said, there are two ways of doing so. You can repeat that person's words, that is a direct speech. You can use reported speech. Okay. Tom said, I am feeling well. So Tom said, I am feeling ill. Tom said that he was feeling ill. That means he was not feeling well. Okay. So this is the example of direct and indirect sentence. Now what are the rules to change direct and indirect speech? I have given in your classwork. If you remember, we made two columns, one direct and indirect speech. I told you to maintain this throughout the year so that we can understand better. So what are the rules? Omit all the inverted commas or quotation marks for the reported speech. End the sentence with the full stop. If the verb inside the inverted comma or quotation marks is in the present tense, change it into the corresponding past tense. Children, remember these three things what I am telling you. I will repeat once again. Omit all the inverted commas or quotation marks. End the sentence with the full stop. If the verb inside the inverted comma or quotation marks is in the present tense, change it into the corresponding past tense. Okay, and then you have some general rules of direct speech and indirect speech. You need to check your classwork, children. I have given all this in your classwork. You remember we wrote 2 to 3 pages of notes only for direct and indirect speech in the class. Now look at this slide, children. Reported speech, how the verb changes, the present simple, the past tense, where there is changes, where there this whole thing with examples we have written in the classwork. Present simple, past simple. I'm sure you all have maintained your classworks properly. I remember correcting these notes also in your classwork. So you need to remember all this, and any doubts you have related to direct and indirect speech we will discuss in the online session. You keep your classwork ready there. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me. Now look at this, children. Tense changes in reported speech. Here I have showed you examples of present simple. So when you change present simple to past simple, direct speech to reported speech, how it is. She always wears a coat. So how you will change this sentence to reported speech? He said that she always wore a coat. Look at the second sentence, children. I am looking for my keys. She said that she was looking for her keys. Don't write she was looking for my keys. You should write she said that she was looking for her keys. Then this sentence, that is direct, when you change to indirect, she has written 3 letters for her friend. He said that she had written 3 letters for her friend. So here I am giving you few examples. So will change to would. How can you frame that sentence? I will finish my report in 2 days. He said that he would finish his report in 2 days. Children, these are not 4 examples. I have given many more examples. For each I have given 2 to 3 examples in your classwork. So any doubts you are having, make a note now, and then you can ask me in the online class, or you can put this in your chat box. I will clarify your doubts, children. Now let us move on to the next slide. So children, here in this unit 5, page number 67, you have a passage given here, the miraculous escape. I want you to read this passage, children. Here, I had been very wealthy and prosperous. It's a very simple comprehension. You can read it, and then you need to answer the questions given there. I will read few lines for you. I had been very wealthy and prosperous and was leading a very comfortable life. I had all the worldly pleasures with me, but soon I became bored of my idle life. The urge to go on a voyage became stronger and stronger day by day. It haunted me like anything. So one day I boarded a ship and went trading from island to island with other merchants. So here you have this passage on page 68 and page 69. And on page 69 you have some questions. It's a very simple passage, children. And it's an anonymous. Let us find out the answers for these questions. What made the narrator go on a voyage? The first option is your answer here. How did the narrator and his friends feed themselves? Third option is the answer. They ate fruits to survive. Before I tell you the answers, I am sure many children have already marked the answers as we used to do in the class. The narrator and his companions were on a tree. The serpent swallowed his narrator, but his companion, but not the narrator. Why? Because the narrator was at a higher place than his companion is the answer, children. You can frame this answer in your own words. Let us move on to the next question. How did the narrator save himself from the serpent? The answer is building a fortress like circle made from wood and bushes and reeds. You can find that sentence in your passage there. Next one, fifth main, find the words in the story which mean the nearest. That is, you must write the similar meaning of these words. The first two I will help you do. The rest three you can do it. If you get the answers, you can type there in the chat box. I will tell you if it is correct or wrong. First one, rich, wealthy. You can find that answer in the first para. Moved, wandered. So third, fourth and fifth you will be able to do. The sixth question is opposites. You need to write the opposite of poor. You can write rich, weak, strong. So you can write the answers. They are very simple. Most of you will be able to do. Those who are not finding the answers, or if you have any doubts, you can type now itself in the chat box. The story of miraculous escape. Next you see the vocabulary, children. Here they are asking us which describes the narrator's feeling of fear. List the two words. First one, terrific, startled. You can write there alarmed, frightened, terror, stricken. And here they are asking getting tired. So one example they have given exhausted. You can write half dead or suffocated, tired. You can fill there, children. If you have more words, you can write there, or better words. Now next is suffix and prefix. So what is suffix in the next page? Can you now add suffix which can mean or relate to the word fear? First one I will tell you. It's already done there. First one, fearsome. Second one you can write fearful. Third one you can write fearless or fear stricken. So rest I am sure you will be able to do, children. Next is reported speech. Just now I have explained so much about reported speech to you. You have to write this story in the reported speech. You have learnt how report questions from direct to indirect. Here is a paragraph with direct speech questions. Read them carefully and report into indirect speech. Rewrite the paragraph given below. So what you are supposed to do? First of all, you have to remove these quotations. Okay, change to past, and then we will write this passage in the given lines below. So I am sure you will be able to write, children. Any doubts you can discuss in the online class. So next here again, next page number 72, the indirect and direct speech. So here they have given, in the indirect speech they have given everything. You need to change in the direct speech here. Romesh asked Lata whether she could go with him for a picnic the next day. Can you see that there are no quotation marks and it is a simple sentence and there is a full stop. But when you go to direct speech, what you are supposed to write? Write Romesh said to Lata, open double inverted, can you go with me for a picnic tomorrow? Close the double inverted, full stop. That's how you are going to write. Look at the second sentence, children. Lata replied, why had he asked her to join? So how you will write this sentence into indirect? Lata said, comma, open double inverted, why have you asked me to join? So here she is asking a question. So it is an interrogative sentence. Why have you asked me to join? So you need to put a full stop, close double inverted. Clear, children? The next three you can do it, or you can start typing that in your chat box. I will tell you if it is right or wrong. Now we'll move on to page number 73. There you have the dog and his bone. You have studied the story in your lower classes. So what are we supposed to do? Prepositions. What are prepositions, children? So children, what are the prepositions here? They are telling some of the prepositions are incorrectly used in the following story. Correct them and read the story. You have to rewrite the story in the space given below. So what are the examples of prepositions? Above, across, against, along, among, at, before, behind, below, beneath. You know that these are the prepositions and it should be correctly used. So let us move on to the next page, that is page number 74. Rearrange the set of words to make the sentence use appropriate punctuations. See here, first one, when I gave her, comma, the bad news, she turned pale. So when, put W capital, I gave her the bad news, she turned pale, full stop. Second one, become rotten as it has, the apple, don't eat. So first you write, don't, D capital, don't eat the apple as it has become rotten, full stop. C and D, you will do it on your own. Children, the next is again a story of brave hearts. They have given 6 questions there. You can write these answers in your own ways. In your own words you can write, children. Okay, you have to read this. You have to cultivate the habit of reading. In your exam you are having this reading comprehension section A. If you don't read with patience once or twice, then you will not be able to find the correct answers for these questions and frame the sentences properly. Next, page number 76. Page number 76, you can see a group of pictures are given here. They make the story. The story is from Tales of Panchatantra. It's there in your textbook, children, your workbook. Here, can you see this? So what are you supposed to do here? You should write the story in the lines provided. Use a suitable, that is story writing. So story writing, what you have to write, I have taught you this format in the class. So first you give it a proper title to this and write the story in short and write a small moral for that and complete the story on page number 78. Then they have given one project for you which you need to do. That also you can write in the textbook. Courage needs no age and comes after we let go of all our fears. Every year on Republic Day, National Bravery Awards are given to selected children for their act of bravery against all odds. These children are able to achieve this glory as they overcome their moments of fear and do their best to save their precious lives. Make a list of any 5 such children. You can just write here the names of the children if you know anyone, or you might have come across such children. You might have read stories of the brave children. You can just write the names here in this page in the side. That's it, children. So with this I finish this complete unit 5. Children, I am sure whatever we have discussed in this session you have clearly understood, and thank you for listening. Let us start with the clarification of doubts.